Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Tunasoma kabisa, si ndio? Yeah, I think hii masomo imekuwa mzuri, and thank you very much the organizers for organizing this. And it's good, ni vizuri kama kanisa tukua na mawazo ya kupanga masomo, especially for men, about money matters, because many a times we don't really get to talk about these things. I think tukua kunywa chai pale tukua tunaulizana, wanaume wana hustle peke yao, si ndio? Everyone is hustling by themselves, and sometimes you don't know what are the other challenges other men are going through. You don't know what you could do to improve hizo networks na vitu kama hizo. So you fake it until you make it. So hivyo ndio tunasema zingine tunasema you fake it until you make it. But when we come together like this and start learning some of these things, tuna demystify mambo ya savings, mambo about money, how we can build wealth and all these things. And that is how that is what can really help us to be able to progress in life. So I'm really happy to be here and to have been invited to be able to just share a few nuggets, a few thoughts about savings or financial stewardship and wealth building. So that is a topic I'm going to handle. And and we want to talk about how we are going to win with money, isn't it? Yeah, winning with money, because the whole idea is that money must work for us, sindio? We don't work for money. Money must work for us, sindio? Yeah, so that when I'm putting my efforts and all these things and in a hustle, natafuta hiyo pesa, I'm not just working to get that money, but once I get that money, then it should start working for me, and I should be able to start growing. I should see growth happening as a result. Lisa, Ama, you can move it. But if they can move it, I think the better, because you can move it from there, isn't it? Yeah. So thank you. So I just want us to ask, us some honest questions, just by show of hands. Tuulizane tu maswali kidogo, because some of these questions will help us to define a few things as we go forward, and just to appreciate, like you just want to get some statistics and see how are we doing. So how many of us earn something? If you earn something, just by show of hands, at least you have some income. Mahali kuna pesa unapata mahali. Ni kama ni kila mtu. Okay, how many of us don't earn anything? Usiogope, it's inua tu mkono. So it's all of us, isn't it? Yeah, so every one of us earns something. So how many of us feel that it is never enough? Hiyo pesa ambayo umepata, how many of us feel it's never enough? Haitoshi. If I could get more. Hajawahi tosha, is it? It is never enough, okay? And then how many of us say that next month I'll do better? Next time, next deal, next I will do better, isn't it? So yeah, we are always trying to make sure that we do better as we move forward in this life. So, and the truth of the matter is that money is never enough, sindio? It is never enough. But what can we do to be able to then make use of that which we already have? Everyone is making some income, isn't it? But that income that you're making, for it to make sense, for it to be able to add value to your life, there has to be something that you're doing with that money, isn't it? Yeah, so and so we are here to learn so that we are able to change the narrative. So I think we'll just move to the next slide. Maybe I can be helping also. So let us look at savings. Nataka tuangalia mambo ya savings kidogo, just to appreciate what is savings. And we say that savings is a foundation for wealth. Because only a fool will be able to use everything that they get. Sindio? Ile pesa yote ambayo unapokea, you use all that money. Na tumefundishwa vizuri sana na Moche. You know the issues of investments, how he was able to do the investments. That was very good and very practical. And the whole idea is that if you are not able to keep some money aside, so like him alikuwa anasema from the 20,000 he was making, alikuwa ana save pesa ngapi? 10,000, si ndio? That is 50%. Hiyo ni kujaribu, amejiskuma. So unless you use that is the wisdom that also God is giving us through the word of God. Kutuambia kwamba you must store something, you must put something aside. Otherwise, kama you make your money, uko na mshahara, uko na biashara, you make some income, and then at the end of the day, all the money you have made, all that money has been used. Is that wisdom? Tusemezane, si ndio? Is that wisdom? No, it is not wisdom. So only a fool will do that, and we do not want to be that kind of a people. Even the ants, the Bible tells us, even the ants, they do what? They store, they keep, they save, isn't it? Sasa kama Mungu ameweka wisdom ya kusave kwa ants, these are just small, very small animals, but wako na hiyo akili, si ndio? Imagine they have that wisdom. God has put that wisdom even in the ants, and they store up, they get food, during wakati kumenyesha, chakula ni mingi, they will store. In fact, when you look at the ants, when you look at how they structure hizo manyumba zao, when they uingie kule chini uone, they have galleries, they have been granaries, they store up the amount of food you will find in those hizo stores ziko huko ndani, hizo wanaweka, you will amaze you. You'll really be amazed. And these are just very minute animals. They don't even have a supervisor. Every one of them just does what they just know what they need to do. Kama wewe unafaa kushika hii njia mwende, chukua kanyasi kamoja. Unaona zinafuatananga tu. Kila moja imechukua nyasi moja. And then they come and put them together. And that is what the Sacco is all about. Everyone will be able to bring in their 1 shilling, 2, 3, 4, 5 shillings. We put them together. Tukiweka pamoja, the power of unity. That's a principle also that we see even from the ants. That all those ants, kila mtu akileta, even if it's just one grass, one grain, or whatever it is that they have brought, then we put together, then we are able to do bigger things, isn't it? We're able to do bigger things together. And we'll be able to see how, even through a Sacco, tutaweza kujijenga, because you will bring your savings, the other person will bring their savings, and from there, you want to access some capital. I think somebody talked about, you have an idea and you lack capital, sindio? So you have those ideas, those business ideas that you have, you are able to now begin to finance them. You're able to begin actualizing them because of the power of doing what? Of pulling together, sindio? So where will you later, maybe you've been able to put in your savings 100,000, and through the Sacco, we can give you maybe even 5 times as capital. You can to start your business, or you can be able to even in some cases even 10 times. You can borrow 10 times and invest and do something. Start grow that business, and we'll be able to see how that works. So we are saying that many men work very hard. Si tunatia bidii, si ndio? We put in a lot of effort. We work very hard. We also pray. Si tunaomba Mungu atusaidie, God to give us wisdom. We do that. We pray. We pray for increase, and we earn those incomes that we earn. But sometimes we don't get to do what? To build meaningful wealth, or wealth that lasts generations, isn't it? Many a times we find ourselves not being able to do that. And the question is, why? Why is that so? Ni kwa nini? Why is that the case? We work hard. We make the incomes we make. We pray. God opens those opportunities. And we'll be looking at a scripture, that in blessing I will do what? I will bless you. That's what God says in his word. So God blesses your hustle. God blesses what you're doing. But sometimes tunajipata, we are not doing what? We are not really building that wealth. It is not lasting. It is tunapata lakini haikai. And we want to look at why is that. And I think the number one thing that we are saying is that, which is a fact, that income is not wealth, isn't it? Saa zingine tunafikiria wealth is, you're trying to see how much I can make more, how much more I can make. And tunajipata kwa hiyo situation ambayo we are always in the hustle of trying to make more money, trying to make more money, trying to make more money. And tumesema it's never enough, sindio? Yes, we're saying it's never enough. So what we do is that we want to keep trying to make more money, trying to make more money. But we forget that, yes, you can make more money, but as long as that money is not being stored, it's not being retained, kuna inflows na outflows, sindio? Lakini hakuna ile kitu inafanya nini? Inabaki. We are not preserving. That becomes a problem. So we can find ourselves, tunaweza jipata kwa hiyo rat race ya kila wakati we are chasing for the next deal, chasing for the next pay rise, chasing for all this. But then when you look back at your bank account balances, in minimum balance, ndio? Ukiangalia inflows, outflows zinatoshana. Debits, credits, hiyo lugha tunaelewa. So ukiangalia debits na credits zinafanya nini? Zinatoshana, si ndio? So that there is nothing that is retained. There is nothing that is remaining that actually you can now be able to say that I have built my wealth. I've been able to grow my wealth. And so that is one of the things that we need to learn, that wealth begins where discipline begins. Lazima kukuwe na discipline. Mahali ambapo sasa unaanza kuweka discipline of saving, that is where you now start to make meaningful wealth. I believe some of these things are going to make a lot of sense as we move forward. And we're saying that if you don't learn to keep money, then you will never do what? You'll never build it. You'll never grow it. As long as you don't learn to keep it, you will never do what? You'll never grow it. You will never multiply it. You can only multiply if you begin to keep. If you begin to keep, to save, to preserve. So that becomes very, very important. And there is this illustration of the leaking bucket. And sometimes we find ourselves like that. Sindio? Yeah, inaweza kuwa, this can be, this can be you, that can be your business, this can be. So basically we are saying that we do not want to find ourselves in being a leaking bucket. A leaking bucket basically means the water is the income, sindio? That income ambayo uko nayo, that is the water. But then the holes, zo mashimo ziko kwa hiyo bucket, because the problem about this bucket is that this water utaendelea kuweka maji, lakini itaendelea kumafanya nini? Kumagika, sindio? Itaendelea kumagika. So at the end of the day, unaweza weka maji kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni, but it is never filling up. So it's like, what are you doing? It's like you're doing nothing. You're putting in efforts, but then those efforts are resulting to nothing, because it's a leaking bucket. And we do not want to be like this. We do not want our businesses to be like that, our lives to be like that, whereby now those holes are the habits. What are your financial habits? Financial habits, your discipline. So sometimes you can even get a pay rise. We normally, I think, make that joke. On Monday, you get a pay rise, on Monday. And then by Friday, you have new lifestyle obligations. Unashindwa sasa, some things, some obligations ambazo zimekuja, lifestyle changes, labda hata kuna places huku unaenda, maybe even the house you used to live, sasa umeamua, let me upgrade, ama kakagari niko nako, sasa now because my salary has increased, so I also upgrade, isn't it? There is always that wanting to upgrade, to be able to match, so that my lifestyle now matches my what? My incomes, isn't it? That's a problem with habits. Habits whereby we want to, we always want to consume more, to consume more, to consume more. And we are saying that what we have is not an income problem, isn't it? What do we have? We have a retention problem. So what we have is a retention problem. E-bucket, maji unaweza endelea kuwekwa. The income has no issue. You can keep making more money. You can keep making more money. But as long as those habits that make your money to keep going away to things that are not useful, to things that are not important, to things you had not planned for. Yani kuna vitu hata huko umepangia. And we'll talk slightly about budgeting, just to appreciate how you plan your money. The moment those habits are causing your money to go to places that you have not planned for, that is a problem that we have. It's a retention problem. So then just I would want us to just look at a biblical blueprint, that is the Joseph saving principle or strategy. So and this is something we learn in the Bible about Joseph, because Joseph also was able to use that same wisdom that God put in the ant. Yeye alikuwa anasema kwamba the wise they store up, isn't it? So that same wisdom is what we see also in Joseph, and this is in Genesis chapter 41 verse 34 to 35, where it says that let Pharaoh appoint commissioners. Take a fifth of the harvest during the 7 good years. Yani wakati sasa when there was plenty, when there was abundance, the harvest was in plenty. You remember the dream? The dream that Pharaoh had? And Joseph was able to interpret through the wisdom that God was able to give him to interpret that particular dream. And that is a wisdom that we all need, that we should be able to have wisdom that allows us to see that there will be years of plenty, isn't it? And there will be years of famine or lack, isn't it? There will be those years. Kutakuwa na seasons. Those are their life is made of seasons. True or false? Si maisha iko namna hiyo. Kuna wakati things are okay. You have good incomes. You have good businesses are flourishing, okay, and all that. But then there will be a time maybe that those incomes might dwindle, isn't it? Or the business environment is shaken, okay? Isn't it? Business environment inakuwa shaken. And so, but then what makes you to survive? What makes you to survive when those things happen? It is the wisdom of being able to preserve, okay? Being able to preserve. That is what will make you to survive. And I think that is very, very important, because we normally tunaona watu wengi sana, they can be doing very well. You can be doing very well. You have a very good salary. You have very good incomes. But the day something happens, your income ipotee. Unaona mtu maybe alikuwa ameenda 100 miles ahead, they come all the way back, isn't it? Back to zero. Unakuta someone is now a beggar. You can imagine. You had grown to a certain extent because you're doing very well, your business was flourishing, you were able to rise the ranks in employment and all that. But the moment something happens and that is shaken, you go all the way down. Unakuta sasa huyu mtu has nothing, he's a beggar, you can't even, huwezi hata sema ni ule, the same person. And what lacked is the wisdom to preserve. Because had you preserved what you made, the incomes that you made during those years of plenty, wakati sasa ikifika wakati ambapo those eventualities happen, you have something that can help you to do what? To be able to go through that crisis, to still sustain your life, a certain lifestyle, as you continue to see how you can be able to bounce back, isn't it? Yeah, how you can be able to bounce back. But if we don't have that kind of a strategy, tusipokuwa na strategy kama hiyo ambayo inatusaidia to be able to think future. Always think future. Usifikirie tu leo peke yake. Let's not think about today. If all I'm thinking about is today, and I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I don't worry how tomorrow will be, then that becomes a very, very big problem. So we see that in this example, Joseph was able to give a strategy of saving 20% of the harvest or basically what they were able to get or to harvest during those 7 years. And you can be able to come up with your own strategy. I think Steve told us was doing 50% because hakuwa na expenses mingi, sindio? So you can put up your own strategy but at least try isiende below 20%, sindio? Because even that is the example we are seeing in the Bible. You can do 20, you can do 30, you can do whatever, 50, based on your other obligations that you have, and that becomes very important in terms of saving and putting something aside as you move forward. So I think I've talked quite about that. So there are some of the practical steps of saving that we can just talk about to own a practicality. How do you really put this, ensure that you can be able to make this a reality? Number one, if you want to, kama uko serious na mambo ya savings, if you're really serious that you want to preserve, you want to build your savings and you grow your wealth, number one, you must save first before you do what? You spend. Sindio? Si tunajua, if the moment you decide, nimepata mshahara yangu, let's say it's 100,000, or I've made that income from that business, maybe it's still 100,000, but then I say, wacha nilipe rent, wacha nifanye nini ingine, ufanye nini ingine, labda ununue kukanguo, ulipe school fees, okay? If you start with the expenses, uanze ku make sure umeshughulikia all your expenses, utakuta kwamba but at the end of the day, then now ndio uanze kufikiria sasa, wacha nione ni nini itabakia, ndio nifanye nini? Ni save. Kutakuwa na kitu imebaki kweli? Will there be anything? There will be nothing, isn't it? So tutajikuta tu in that place whereby we are always saying I have no enough money to do what? To save. Yani hii pesa niko nayo haitoshi, hata matumizi ni mingi kuliko hii pesa. So what do I do? Because a lot of people find tunajipata kwa situation kama hiyo, tunasema when I make more money, I will be able to do what? To save. Will that ever happen? Si tuambieni ukweli, will that ever happen? If I get more money, I will be able to save. The moment you get more money, more obligations will come, isn't it? So you will never save. So the practical thing about saving is that you have to make a rule. Yani inafaa kuwa sasa it's a rule. Ni sheria, unajiwekea sheria. So I say that before I use this money, how much have I made? 100,000, isn't it? I'm going to save first. Kama niyo 20%, nitaweka kwanza hiyo savings. Okay? Then now hii pesa nyingine imebaki nifanye nini? Nipangie mambo. I plan for other things which we can be able to look at also. And then the other thing that can really help you is to automate. To automate ni kumaanisha kwamba hata ndio usikuwa unafikiria, usikuwa unajiweka kwa majaribu. Unajua saa zingine majaribu unajiuliza, nitume hii 20% ni save ama kwanza wacha kuna kitu urgent, si ndio? Si wacha kwanza nishughulikie hii, there's a pressing need, kuna bill ya hospitali, kuna kanini hapa. Something will happen, but if you automate, it makes you also to even to unajiondolea hizo temptations. You can put a standing order, and as long as the money is your money is coming through an account, like in Kingdom Sacco we have the transactional accounts. Kama ni biashara unafanya, you can be able to put money in that we call it FOSA, which is a transactional account. Pesa yako ya biashara ama your salary is going through there, and you can always put a standing order. Unajiambia at least najua ikifika tarehe fulani kunakuwa na pesa kwa hiyo account, and therefore I put a standing order for my savings. So the moment pesa imeingia, inaenda the amount that you have planned to save, ile umesema nitakuwa na save, kama ni 10,000 I'll be saving it, if it is 20,000 I'll be saving it. Umeweka standing order, that issue you will not have a problem again with that, because hautaanza tena kurudi usishaingia kwa savings. I can't withdraw. And that the good thing about saving in a Sacco is that those savings hautapata majaribu ya kusema, unajua, if you say you're saving money in a bank account na unaweza kutoa, so unaweza kutoa hiyo pesa. So kama umeisave kwa bank account na umeona sasa nimesukuma mahali, acha nitoe, alafu I'll be able to I'll return it back. My friend, hautarudisha, si ndio? Sio ni kweli? But now if you are saving in a Sacco, you are able to, that money, you see the money is growing, you see it there, it is growing, it is earning you interest, inaendelea kukua, but you cannot do what? You cannot withdraw. We give you, what we do is that we give you that kind of a discipline. Kwamba hiyo pesa umeweka, lakini hauwezi fanya nini? Hauwezi toa. But you can use it, you can borrow with that, you can be able to borrow and do your projects, do whatever you're doing, get capital for your ideas and grow like that. And your savings continue to do what? To grow. Sindio? So I think that is very, very important. Then I think the other thing is that we are saying you must treat savings like a bill. Yani unaona vile unajua niko na rent, si ndio? Lazima nilipe. Utakosa kulipa rent. Kuna wakati una debate. Useme leo hii mwezi wacha nisilipe rent. No, you cannot do that. So that is the same way you have to treat your savings. It has to be, you have to treat it like a bill. You have to say that this is going to be non-negotiable, okay? Savings must be non-negotiable. Tunaelewana? Yeah, if you have to be able to really build and grow your savings and grow your wealth, it has to be non-negotiable. So that is very, very important. I think I'll just move a little bit fast. So let's look at budgeting. Sasa tuangalie mambo ya budgeting kidogo. Tumeongea mambo ya savings na sasa tumeelewa. Si tumeelewa mambo ya savings and how you can do it. And we've tried to give you very, very practical ways of doing that. Now, budgeting. Budgeting is giving your money what? Direction. Giving your money direction. Because direction means that mahali your pesa inaenda. You are able to plan that this money, I get this money, this is where it goes. Inaenda hapa, inaenda hapa, inaenda wapi? Hapa, si ndio? Na kuna ndiyo bus ambayo iko hapo is a good illustration, the matatu story. If you bought that matatu, na usiulize inaenda wapi, you'll still move, si ndio? Si bado utajipata unaenda. But are you going in the right direction? Maybe not, isn't it? Maybe where it will take you is not where you intended to go. Sababu haukuuliza hii basi inaenda wapi? Hii matatu, hii mat labda ni ya Kayole, wewe umeingia mat ya wapi? Ya Kariobangi, si ndio? So that is what budgeting is about. Budgeting is about giving your money direction. Let me just go to the next. So this is just an example or a simple formula that you can be able to apply for budgeting. Ambayo itakusaidia as you do your budgeting. Budgeting does not have to be very complex, okay? Si lazima ikuwe kitu ati uko na spreadsheets, sijui zinatoshana aje, because it's very complex. Budgeting can be very simplified, okay? Can be very simplified. You can make it very practical, very consistent. Sijui ni wangapi hapa wako na budget? How many of us do a budget for your money? Let's just see by show of hand. Kama tunaweka budgets, okay, the hands are now, they are fewer, isn't it? Yes. They're making money, all the hands are up. They're budgeting, how many? Okay? Yeah, and if you just said, if you don't do that budget, you're boarding a matatu that is going in the wrong. Yeah, inaenda Kayole, lakini wewe, your destination was where? Yeah, so it's very important. So make sure you have a budget. Na sio kitu complicated. Sawa. Ka budget tu unasema, so how much goes into this, how much goes into this, how much goes into this. And this formula just gives us a very simple way of looking at it. 50% should go to needs. Sindio? Yeah, needs ujue ni vitu. Those are things you need that you cannot do without. Okay? Sio luxury. Sio wants. There's a difference between what I want and what I need. Okay? So you have to look at 50%. Let it go to the needs, the rent, the food. Tumeambiwa lazima ukule ndio ufanye nini? So that you can hustle, so that you can continue to work. So you have to eat, so that is a need. Yeah, school fees, transport, utilities, kulipa hiyo bill hapa na pale. Those ones that are a must. Those ones, you can allocate how much? 50%. Sindio? Aya. Then you come to 20% of savings. 20%, you must be, if you make that discipline of saying 20%, you're in savings. So you put that aside. Put it in your savings, store it somewhere. It could be in the Sacco, it could be in investments, it could be wherever. But you're putting aside at least that 20%, okay? Then you go to the other one is now lifestyle. Lifestyle, sasa those are now where you have your wants. Of course, tunasema ndio lazima ujirudishie shukrani. But ujirudishie shukrani na nini? Na incomes yako yote, si ndio? So there is balance. There is balance. That's why we have to strike a balance whereby you take care of those needs, you make sure you have your savings, and then now you can also take care of the wants. Kango kazuri unakanunua, those networks you need to build. See, we have to build networks. So you also have to budget for that, isn't it? Some 15% can go there. Make sure that you can be able to take care of those lifestyle issues. And then now another 15% giving, okay? Giving. Is that important? Yeah, it's important that we able, even in your budget, you budget, you forget to budget for your giving. And that is very, very important, because giving, you can have your tithes, your offering, and also your generosity. Lazima tusaidia watu, si ndio? We have to, there will be eventualities, and unless I participate in helping other people, hata mimi wakati nitapata shida nitasaidiwa kweli? You will not, isn't it? So you also make sure that you budget for your giving and your donations, and that becomes very, very, very important. So the last thing I want us to look at is about debt management. So tumeongea mambo ya savings, tumeongea mambo ya budgeting. Now we want to look at what? Debt management. And that debt management, if you look at that image, is there are people who find themselves in a trap of debt, isn't it? Tunajipata tumeingia kwa shimo. Shimo ambayo tunaita is a hole of debt. And mostly you dig that hole yourself. And what happens is that it's like ukianza kuchimba shimo hapa, unachimba shimo and you're going inside, si ndio? Unachimba ukiendelea kwenda wapi? Ndani, unaenda ndani. And then now you find you have gotten so deep into debt, and you're not able to do what? You're not able to do what? To come out, si ndio? Yeah, so that is how debt can be if you don't plan your borrowing properly. And we always advise people, make sure that you borrow wisely, okay? Make sure that you do what? You borrow wisely. And and borrowing wisely is to make sure that, and those we have put some examples there of good debt and bad debt. Yeah, so because you can have some good debts, but you can also have some bad debts. So good debt is debt that you take for investment. Huwa tunasema kwamba that money you're borrowing, that loan you're taking, it should be able to do what? To pay back itself. You should not use your incomes to repay that loan. Whatever you're putting that money to do, if you're borrowing, and in Kingdom Sacco we will advise you. We look at what are you doing. We look at what is your plan. Okay, you're coming to borrow some money. What is the plan? What are you doing? Is this money going to? Is this venture going to return this money back? Is it going to be able to repay the loan back? Ama utarudi kwa mfuko yako, sasa uanze kutumia ile 20% ya savings, ama some part of the 50% for your needs to do what? To pay the loan, isn't it? So it must be able to repay itself. And therefore, good debt, number one, is that either you're doing an investment, you're taking money for business growth, your biashara, so that from where it is, maybe umeanza kidogo, at that a very small level, iendelee kukua, you give it a boost, you buy some capital, and then the business can grow. If it could be education. Education is an investment, isn't it? Do you know that? When you invest in your education, that is an investment, because that education will open opportunities for you. So again, you can be sure that that is a good debt, because you will be able to get opportunities that will help you to do what? That will be able to grow. And then the other one is also asset acquisition. So inaweza kuwa labda unanunua kashamba, inaweza kuwa unajenga kanyumba, and a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people want to tunataka kuchukua pesa for lifestyle, lifestyle things, and that is what we are saying is bad debt. And there are some assets that, like maybe motor vehicles, unless you're buying a car for business, and so you should not really use, take a loan just to buy a good car to impress. So you just want to impress people, isn't it? You want to make sure people, so that your friends can see, waone tu vile sasa wewe, you have made it, you make it, sindio? Yeah, so we should not do that. So bad debt is you're taking money for lifestyle pressures or pleasures. It could be pressures or pleasures. Pressures ni kwa sababu kuna pia pressure. Naona my friend tulimaliza campus pamoja, tayari akona V8. Mimi bado niko na nini? Niko na Nissan Note, si ndio? Ama niko na Kavits. So I want to be able to be like the same level, si ndio? But you forget we cannot be the same, because we are never equal, okay? So lazima pia tukubali kwamba my path is different, your path is different, and time and chance happen to everybody, isn't it? So I should not, let's not be tempted to borrow for lifestyle issues. Let's not be tempted. That is very, very important. Or to impress. Onekane, sasa maybe for men, we also want to make sure we want to impress even the ladies. Sindio? Ndio upate maybe a good wife. They need to see niko na kagari kazuri. Maybe my lifestyle is like this, and all you've done is to borrow to be able to maintain that kind of what? Lifestyle. Is that sustainable? It is not sustainable. So very, very important. And sometimes also we borrow to fund poor planning. Kumaanisha, you have come up with an idea, umefikiria hiyo ka proposal umetengeneza, but then you didn't put a lot of thought into it. You didn't consult. You didn't get someone who with experience in that area to help you, just to define your idea, to think about it, to see are there some risks. Kuna kitu ambayo labda sijaangalia vizuri. And then you come, you borrow, you put money into that venture. Because you didn't plan well, what happens? Inaenda chini, si ndio? Yeah, so we need to avoid that. So it's always good to make sure that you have really, really done your research very, very thoroughly. You have consulted. You have, and ndio maana tunasema mambo ya networking. Networking. That network is what will help you not to get into such a hole. Usijipate kwa shimo kama hiyo, si ndio? Yeah, so, and we're saying that some loans are a blessing, while others are what? Others are stress in installments. Yani kila wakati unalipa hiyo loan, uni stress. Unashindwa sasa nitatoa wapi hiyo installment ya kulipa? Because I did not plan well, or I used that money I borrowed for lifestyle purposes. So inakuwa ni stress. Unakuta there are people who have very good salaries. Maybe mtu ako na mshahara kama 1,100 ama 2,200, lakini ile pesa anabaki nayo take home. What is available for you, you could find that some people even almost have nothing remaining because of poor debt management. Sindio? See, is that a reality? See, it happens. And we must be able to ensure that we don't find ourselves there, because hizo ndio vitu zinatumaliza. Some of these debts that we take, like for example, hizi mshwari, manini, inaitwaje, Tala, those mobile money, and sometimes especially majenzi, tunajipatanga hapo, whereby So now the incomes you have, every time you get that salary or you make that money, the entire amount goes to pay that debt. Hiyo kamshori ulichukua. Alafu what happens after that? Lazima tena uchukue ingine, si ndio? Sasa pesa yote imeenda kwa loan. Sasa utafanya nini? Utasurvive aje? So then unachukua tena ingine. Then and maybe sometimes you even take a bigger one. And all that. So it becomes a trap. You find yourself in a trap. And we have to be able to really make sure that we really don't get there. And kama kuna mtu wako kwa hizo traps, we can look at how we can guide you how to get out of that trap, okay? Because all you need to do is to start planning properly. You need probably to consolidate. Kama uko na debt hapa na pale, maybe you consolidate. Unaweza kuja Kingdom Sacco. We look at your incomes. We look at how you're structuring your incomes, how they are, the debts you have in other places that are not healthy. We come and look at it na tunaangalia, tunasema, okay, based on your character, because tumeongea mambo ya character, si ndio? Again, we look at your character and we try to help you build a proper character. Then we say, can we consolidate? And then you have one debt that is manageable. You start rebuilding your life, si ndio? You start rebuilding your life. And it is possible to get out of bad debt. Kweli. If with advice, with people working with you, holding your hand, it is possible to get out of bad debt. And we do not want to find ourselves in those traps. So very, very important. So now I think we'll just want to look at something very small about building wealth. You have to think long-term. Sindio? You have to do what? To think long-term. And Moche told us about getting money through the right, kupata pesa through the right what? The right channels, isn't it? Character, having that character to make sure you're making wealth or making your incomes through the right channels. And the scripture in the Bible that really talks about that is Proverbs chapter 13 verse 11. Inasema, dishonest money dwindles away. Yani ile pesa unapata through dishonest ways. You have cut corners. You have made deals that are not, that even, mbele ya Mungu, kienda usimame mbele ya Mungu, hiyo deal vile ulipata, the way you corrupted your way, the way you did that, it was just not right, isn't it? That dishonest money, it dwindles away, okay? But what happens to money that you gather little by little? What happens to that kind of money? It does what? It grows, okay? So money that you gather little by little, pole pole, without, and sometimes one of the things that people have, we find ourselves, we want to make money very fast. Or we want to grow our wealth very fast. But the fact is that money that grows slowly is the money that does what? That's the money that stays. Sindio? Hiyo pesa ambayo inakuwa pole pole, that is the money that stays. That is, and if the moment you want to just get pesa ikuje haraka, kwa njia ya haraka, it will, the same way it comes, the same way it will do what? The same way it goes. So let's desire to just make money the right way. Let's also think long term. Let's not think I'll make money right now. I will make wealth right now. I will be the richest person in the world right now. I will be a billionaire in the next few, months. I want to really be to be that. So you have to think long term. Must think long term. You must think about putting that money, saving it little by little. So, and when you talk about little by little, whatever income you have, you start there. Unaanzia wapi? Unaanzia hapo. Okay? If it is 10,000 shillings that you are making every month, start there. Save that 20%. Year 2,000. Weka tu, save. If you're having an income of 50,000, start there. Pole pole, and it may take time, but it will surely grow. Sawa sawa. That is very, very important. Then just want to look at also the same principle about how we grow our wealth over time. It is likened to planting a seed. Okay? When you plant, you cannot plant, huwezi panda mbegu leo, and then you expect the same day you will sit under the shade of that tree. Is that going to work? Is that going to? It cannot work, isn't it? So you don't sit under the shade the day you plant the seed. Lazima ufanye nini? You have to give it time. You have to give it time. So number one step is you plant the seed, you start your saving habit, save whatever amount you have, then you water it. Water it is consistency. Vile unakuwa consistent. Kuna watu you can say from today I'll start saving. But then what happens is that yes, this month umesave, lakini hiyo mwezi ingine hujafanya nini? Hujasave. Unakuwa inconsistent. So now maybe you did, it was a resolution. Unajua kuna kwa watu wanakuwa na is a new year resolution. Now from this year nitaanza kufanya nini? Kusave. I will be serious. I'm determined. I will do my savings. But then you save in January, you save in February. March ikifika umeanza you've started, and it's because you didn't put structure. You didn't automate it. So that the issue of watering is being consistent, making sure that you do it without fail. It is a structure. Yani umejiambia, this is a structure, and you've put a structure that will help you. And then finally, of course, you give it time, it will be able to grow. And I think that is very, very important. So just looking at money and identity, because sometimes we say that money is the root of what? All evils. But is that the case? Is it money, or is it the love of money? Is it the love of money, isn't it? It is not money itself. So money and identity. Money does not change a man. Is that true? It reveals your character. So there is a way if your character is not well built, na ndio maana wachungaji tuko na kazi ya kuhakikisha we are building the character, the heart, because the heart, the root of all evil is actually where? Is a deceit in the heart of man, isn't it? There's deceit, and that is where if we don't have the correct identity of who we are, saa zingine we start chasing after money, and so that money starts defining us, isn't it? But that should not be the case. Money should not define us. And I know nowadays we find ourselves in a place whereby, for sana because of the girl child, you see, girl child amekuwa very empowered. And so as a boy child, we find ourselves in a tricky situation, especially those of us who want to get married. The ladies are having a lot of incomes, sindio? They have a lot of money, incomes, lakini we bado because they have opportunities and they have been given opportunities, girl child empowerment and all that. Most of the girls are getting scholarships, they're getting employment opportunities more than men, and that is happening. So tunajipata sasa as men, because if your identity is in the fact that I must have money to be a man, I must have money, sindio? So that's what we believe. My role as a man is to do what? Is to provide. So kama sina do, kama sina pesa, sasa nita provide aje. I can't even, how do I start a family? How do I even, do all this? Which is, of course, there will be those challenges. But if we have the right identity, that the lack of money or how much money you have does not define who you are as a man. Sindio? It does not define. You can continue to exercise your God-given authority and responsibility as a man, as a husband, as a father, even if you don't have all the money that you may have wanted to have in this world. Okay? Because money should not do what? Should not define you. It does not give you identity. I think that is very, very important. Money should not give you identity. And we should be able to look at money as a tool. Yani pesa, it is just a tool. Doesn't define me. It's a tool, okay? I just use it to be able to accomplish a purpose. It is not your master. It does not define or decide, about your life. It is you who decide how it works. And the other thing is that discipline is a choice, isn't it? Discipline is a choice. The other thing is that wealth is built. You are the one who will work it out. You have to build it. It does not just come. It does not come. You have to build it. And then finally, stewardship is yours. God has given you that responsibility. hiyo wealth Mungu amekupatia, that income, you have to steward it very well. And stewarding basically means that you're not using everything. You're not getting money and using everything. That is not stewardship. Stewardship is being able to manage it well, being able to make it grow, being able to preserve it, being able to grow your savings and be able to preserve that which God has given you. So as I close, and just maybe be able to talk a little bit about, I think that one was gone first, about investing with vision and purpose, because that is something else that sometimes we lack. We lack vision and we lack purpose, because hii pesa tunatafuta ya kazi gani? So yes, I'm looking for money, but what is the purpose? Why am I looking for money? Why am I pursuing wealth? Why am I investing? Why am I saving? Okay? We must do it with vision and purpose. And the thing that we must ask ourselves, what is it that God has put in my heart? Mungu ameweka nini kwa roho yako that you need to achieve or you need to accomplish? Ni nini hiyo? There is a desire, there is a purpose, there is that business that God wants you to build. There is how God wants you to establish your family. There is that future that God wants you to build through that wealth, through that money. So the first thing is to have vision. Make sure you have clear vision. Make sure you have clear purpose. Once you have a clear vision and a clear purpose, then you can be able to give your money what we call a mission. Sindio? That money now can have a mission, because you're no longer just chasing money for the sake of money, but there is a mission that money is going to fulfill. All right? And if we live that kind of life of purpose, then our money begins to have mission. It becomes to have a sense of mission. My looking for money and to make more money and to invest that money, to grow that money, is not even just for myself. It's not just for my own. I'm looking at just getting a better life personally, but there is a greater mission and a greater purpose. There are purposes of God that He has put in your life that He wants you to accomplish through that money. And therefore, that motivates you to even make more wealth, to grow to invest more money. It motivates you to do it well, to do it with a purpose, and to do it with a sense of mission. So I think that becomes very important. So, and we at Kingdom Sacco, our role is really to help you to be able to give that money that kind of a mission. Because to serve, we want to help that money to help you serve that mission. We give you structure. We make sure that you are able to have a structure for your savings. We have a structure for how you can allow you to grow, be able to fund your vision. We can be able to give capital to help you achieve that particular vision that you have. And that is why we are there. We exist to be able to support and to be able to provide that kind of a structure ambayo itakusaidia, so that now you are able to build your vision. We become your partner, a partner of your vision. So that is what we say that in Kingdom Sacco, that is what we are about. I just want to talk about very, very briefly about Kingdom Sacco. We are built by believers. We are faith-based, built by believers for believers. Yani ni Sacco ya kanisa, okay? Kingdom Sacco we started in the year 2000, 27 years ago. We have empowered many people, 25,000 plus members across the country, across the diaspora. We've been there for a very long time, and therefore we are a very trusted financial partner. We are located in Githurai 45, tuko hapo. Sijui wangapi wamepitia hapo ukaona Kingdom Sacco hapo. Just in case you have seen, tuko hapo Githurai 45. We have been there. We've worked with pastors, we've worked with churches across the entire country. We have a branch, or other branches in Mombasa, Nakuru, Naivasha, tunafungua ingine Eldoret, and we have members all across the country. But what also we really pride ourselves in the fact that we have really been able to cause real life transformation in the lives of people. Tumeweza kutransform maisha ya watu, waweze kusaidika, and so many people have been able to build their homes. A lot of people have been able to buy land through Kingdom Sacco. A lot of people have been able to educate their children. They have grown their businesses from very small businesses to big enterprises. We have a lot of testimonials. Vile watu wamesaidika from just starting small and growing big through Kingdom Sacco. We've also been able to help establish many churches, wakaweza kujenga makanisa, schools, institutions, businesses, all that, and we really pride ourselves in being able to do that. Our mission is to help you to save, to help you to borrow, and to help you to grow. That is our mission, purely. So we may help you to save intentionally. Situmamngia mambo ya savings, but unless you have a structure for doing it, being intentional, and to make sure that you do it without fail, then you cannot be able to achieve that objective. Then we help you to borrow affordably. We give very, very affordable rates, interest rates from 12%. And we normally say you don't need to struggle with high interest debt. Sindio? Kuna haja gani uende ungangane na debt ambayo ni ya hizo mshwari na all that, and even the bank rates are very high. 18, 20, saa zingine 30%. So through a Sacco you are able to borrow without strain, bila kukua na hiyo stress, because the interest is affordable, and then as a result of that you can grow. We help you to grow strategically. And we always say that you can grow from that mustard seed, being the smallest of the seeds, and grow to become a very big, a mighty tree. You can grow to become a mighty tree. That can be your business. That can be your life, your lifestyle. That can be your family. So that you can grow that. And that is how Kingdom Sacco has grown. When we started in the year 2000, members walikuwa na save only 20 shillings. Shilingi 20 peke yake. Imagine 2020 shillings saving every week. And now today we have grown. We are currently at 2.5 billion in terms of assets. We are in our loan book is about 2.2 billion. Our deposits are about 1.7 billion. So that kind of growth did not happen overnight. Sindio? Sinaona tulianzia wapi? 20 shillings. And with consistency and continuing to build and empowering people's lives, we have grown to where we are. And that also is how your business can grow. Sindio? Yeah, so that is very, very important. So when we walk that journey with you of growth, and we are able to do that. So in terms of our value proposition, we are your trusted and reliable financial partner. You can be sure 27 years of excellence, we can be very, very trusted. And of course, with biblical values, we everything that we do is based on biblical principles. The way we serve you, the way we keep your money, the way we lend, and all that is based on biblical principles and values. So we help you to be able to borrow from 3 times up to 5 times of your savings, and even in some products like asset financing, affordable housing, we're able to do up to 10 times of your savings, and that is very, 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 very affordable. Interest rates from 12% per annum on reducing balance, so that makes you to be able to pay your loan very easily. And then the other thing is that security. Ikifika mambo ya security, you can either use your savings, so you can borrow within your savings. You can also use guarantors, and sometimes we also encourage, especially if you don't have assets that you can use to secure your loans, you want to start somewhere to grow. And we have talked about networks, isn't it? Those networks is coming together. The groups, we can form groups, even if it's through, within the church, we can form groups where we can start saving, to guarantee each other. And from that level, you can now be able to move from that level whereby we finance that business, it grows, you acquire an asset, you're able to start using an asset to secure your loan. Unaweza kujisimamia, basically. So security, so you can also use a title, the logbook, and all that. Then, of course, we have a lot of attractive returns in terms of interest on savings, fixed deposits, also dividends, tunapeana returns mzuri. Last year, or basically this year, we gave dividends at 12%, interest at 8%. And when you look at how we've been growing, unapata, we have always, tunaendelea to increase our returns. because we want to make sure that it's sustainable. All right? And then the other, kitu ingine ambayo ni muhimu sana is about what we call the benevolent fund. Because life happens, okay? Sindio? Eventualities, life happens. So we have the benevolent fund in case of the death of a member. If your member passes on, there's 100,000 for the last expense that goes to the family to help take care of the expenses. Also, if you had taken a loan and the member has passed on, again, that loan is covered by insurance. So familia haitarudi kusumbuliwa, ati no, there's this loan that now your family member had, na ilikuwa imesimamiwa na hiyo title, ilikuwa imesimamiwa, so we have to come and recover. So we want that to not happen. It will be covered by the insurance. And then the other thing is now, this is, and which you say is the best part about Kingdom Sacco, is that we are the Sacco that never sleeps. What that basically means is that we are available to serve you 24/7 through our mobile app, our digital channels. We are able to, and you can access all the services, almost 95%. Imagine, hakuna kitu huwezi fanya. Kingdom Sacco, with the mobile app, you are able to do everything, literally, from registration. You can self-register. You can, if you want to create an account, you want to open a call account, another maybe a savings account. All that you do through the mobile app. You register online. You can do all your transactions there, from M-Pesa to withdraw to deposit, to PesaLink, transferring money to other banks, to paying bills. You can do pay bill to other pay bill numbers directly from your account. You can pay your tills. Kama uko kwa supermarket, anywhere you need to pay for goods and services, you do it directly there. If it is to buy airtime, all those transactions unafanya wapi? Kwa mobile app ya Kingdom Sacco. And then when it comes to taking the loan, kama ni kuchukua loan, again, you don't see lazima uanze kujaza nini? My loan forms, or you coming physically to where we are. You can be able to apply for that loan through the mobile app, whether it is the mobile loans or even the normal loans, the big loans. There is no limit. You can be able to do that. Kama ni guarantorship, those who have formed themselves into groups, si lazima sasa tutafutane niko na form. Ni wapi guarantors, kila mtu assign mahali, tutafutane to sign. Of course, you always, if you're in a group, you will discuss, you will agree. And with the era of technology, you can even do online meeting, isn't it? Now, tunakubaliana, so-and-so wants to borrow. And then you can get into the mobile app and guarantee. So made very easy. You can access your statements, your standing orders. You can create them there. You can do all that. There are many things you can do. And basically, most of the services that we offer at Kingdom Sacco, you'll be able to access them through the mobile app. So that really helps very much. And the how to join is very simple. You download the app, you either on Play Store or App Store. Then, of course, you pay the registration fee. Registration fee for individuals is 1,200 shillings. For businesses, that is, or institutions, that is 2,400. And you can, once you do that, you will be able to get started. Then of course, in the registration process, you will upload some documents, the ID, the passport photo, all those. You'll capture the details there. Then from there, the next thing is just starting the journey of saving, okay? Start the journey of saving. And that is very important, because we say that the best time to plant was, the best time was yesterday. But then the second best time is today. So if you have not yet started the journey of saving, the best time to start is today, and you can be able to do it very well with Kingdom Sacco. Then the other thing that is very important, we also have empowerment programs that we offer. We offer financial literacy. So kama sasa vile tumekuja hapa tumesoma, si ndio? And those are things that we do. We teach about financial literacy so that people learn about savings, about debt management, some of those things that are very important in managing your finances. We also make sure that you have a dedicated relationship officer. Ukifungua account yako, you will be assigned someone who you can always call if you have an issue. If you need support, you can be able to, you are given a relationship officer, especially at the point of borrowing. And then there's now that pay bill short code, which is also another thing which is very important for your business. That pay bill short code, with kama uko na biashara ama hata kanisa, you'll be able to give you a short code, a very short number, 5 digits, it could even be a name, a short name that you can use, and people can be able to pay easily to your account through the short code. And you get notifications in case mtu akifanya transaction, unapata notification, so that you can help you to reconcile very easily. If you want to get like daily statements, kila siku napokea statement ya hizo transactions, so that you do your reconciliations. That one is automated in a way that unasema I want to get it daily or even weekly, and you're able to reconcile your transactions. So it makes it very easy to do that. So I think I've been able to come to the end, and I just want us to listen to this clip, very brief. It's about 4 minutes. Then after that, I can be able to take some questions or any clarifications before I sit.
Asante sana mwalimu.
Yes, karibu.
I used to be a member of Kingdom Sacco. But
what happened?
Kufikia corona period, I'm a teacher in a private school.
Yeah.
So corona period tukaambiwa we are on unpaid leave. So nikatafuta pesa mahali to sustain my family. So I came back to the Kingdom Sacco, Kithurai 45. Mwenye nilipata akanihudumia, nilitaka emergency loan. Na nikapewa story ndefu tu. Nikajoin. Wakaniambia the only way kupata pesa ni ingia kwa group. So nikaingia kwa group, ilikuwa na minimum ya watu 7. So walikuwa wameniambia maximum ni 15 hapo. So nikajoin. Kuingia kwa hiyo group nikapata watu wamechukua loan, wengine wananunua plots, mwingine milioni 2. Sasa mimi nikataka tu ya emergency ya kushughulikia familia, wakaniambia ngoja wamalize walipe loan zao ndio watachu.
Okay.
So I ended up nikaona tu ni withdraw pesa nitoke.
Okay.
Nikapewa 60 days. Kila kitu kwa hivyo na nikapewa pesa. Nimekuwa receive messages kuonekana kama ningali member. Niliambiwa niwache 100 bob. So keep the. Can I rejoin ama nikitaka kujoin tena nda register tena ama account yangu ingali tuko. But kutoka 2020
okay,
sichakuwa nikicontribute.
All right.
Yeah, na asante sana nimekupata sasa leo kuliko hii zile information nilipewa sa kwanza. Yeah.
So very good. Hiyo ni swali mzuri sana. Thank you very much. Na pole kwa hiyo changamoto ambayo ulipokea when you wanted to borrow. So kikundi dynamics ya kikundi inakuanga ni kwamba of course when guaranteeing one another, of course watu wote hawezi chukua loan wakati moja, si ndio? So that's why there is a issue of lazima wengine kuna wale maybe mnajipanga kwa kikundi, kuna wale wanachukua loan kwanza, maybe kama kwa mfano kama mko 7 vile umesema, maybe 3 of you could be borrowing, warudi walipelipe kidogo, and then another person can borrow because we are using guarantorship, ndio? We are guaranteeing. So hatuwezi chukua pesa zaidi ya ile savings ambazo ziko pale kwa kikundi. So that is how guarantorship works. And that is why tunasema when you are also able, kwa hizo vikundi huwa tuna encourage pia wale wako na uwezo, because kile saa zingine inafanyika ni kwamba wale ambao wako na uwezo wanachukua pesa mingi kwa kikundi, wanamalizia wale wengine, si ndio? So we always encourage that those wale wako na uwezo, yes, you can still be in the group, but kama uko na asset, uko na gari, uko na logbook, you can actually be able to still unaweza iongeza pale, ndio sababu hiyo mkopo umechukua ni kubwa, ndio iweze ku release the savings for those who are taking smaller loans. So we always advise the groups like that. Ndio mtu asikwame wakati they want to borrow. Kama sasa ni emergency, you can imagine sababu kuna mtu alichukua pesa mingi na hii savings ya group imetumika yote kufanya nini? Kugarantii hiyo loan ya mtu mmoja. So mnaweka rules, lazima mweke rules kwa kikundi. Those rules are the ones that will help you to manage how you take care of the people who are borrowing big loans, the people who are borrowing smaller loans, so that it is sustainable. So if you want to rejoin, tuko pale, we just come and pale kwa registration hapo, tuko na desk hapo. We look at that account tuone kama bado inahitaji kuactivatiwa or you need to register again afresh. Nategemea kama uliacha a balance, then it's just activating and you continue saving. All right? Thank you very much. Any other question? Yes?
Niko na swali.
Yeah.
Kwa Sacco hiyo mambo ya kugarantii.
Yeah.
Hiyo I think ndio inafanya watu wanaogopa juu ukigarantii mtu tuseme alafu huo mtu apoteze kazi, ashindwe kulipa ile deni.
Yeah.
Wewe mwenye umemgarantii utaenda hapo umeumia. So kama Kingdom Sacco nini huwa mnafanya at least to help the guarantors juu ulisaidia mtu kama rafiki?
Yeah. All right, very very good. Hiyo ni muhimu sana. And ndio mara mingi what we do is that we also tell people to form groups vile mnajuana, because also it's good to know the character of the people that you're forming those groups together. But of course, as you're saying, people change. So anaweza kuwa mtu anaweza kuwa limzuri wakati mlianza pamoja, but akabadilika baadaye akachukua loan akamua hata lipa. So those things happen. So what happens is that we will work with the group to make sure that pia nyinyi mnatusaidia huyu mtu aweze kulipa. So because mnamjua vizuri, si ndio? Maybe mnajua mahali biashara iko, you know whether he is actually having incomes or not. So if it is someone who is willing to help, we walk the journey, okay? And sometimes maybe wanahitaji hiyo loan ikuwe restructured so that they can afford to pay. We can do that. We can restructure. We walk the journey for that person to be able to regain their capacity to pay. But kuna wale pia ambao wameamua tu sasa, they have decided they will not pay that loan even with the support that we can provide. So what we do is that at that point in time now, of course, because of the guarantor, so we will definitely, the guarantors will recover from the savings, and then we hand over that person to a debt collector. So when we hand them over to a debt collector, the debt collector will now be pursuing, anakuwa namfuatilia ndio arudishie guarantors zile pesa zao. Okay? So and na huwa tunaambia members wa kikundi, work with the debt collector. Let them be able to know mtu ako hapa, because nyinyi ndio mnamjua vizuri. Ako hapa, they have these incomes, they have this business, they are not paying, they refuse to pay the money, and you know. So if we cooperate like that with the debt collectors, hiyo pesa analipa through. Of course, debt collectors, they have a way of doing that. They have a way of making sure that this person is able to pay. Ikifika mahali ambapo anasumbua, we can actually take them through a court process. We can even attach their property to be sold, and that money comes back to the guarantors. So we don't leave it at that point. So we pursue and we work with the group members. All right? Thank you. Karibu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Joel, for your presentation. Mine is actually clarification on two things. One, there's this economic principle I want clarification on. I've seen investors doing. Let's say, for example, I take a 5 million loan. There's this project I want to invest in. So I want to leverage on the reducing balance interest. So if, let's say, for example, with the 5 million, manipatia 10-year payment plan, how can I leverage on that? Can I clear the interest fast within 6 months? Your principal ikibaki, does it grow?
Okay. Yeah. So the model, when we say reducing balance, when you say reducing balance, because that's the model that we use for reducing balance, is that, yes, every time you're paying the loan, there is a component that is paying the principal, there is a component that is paying the interest, and there's a component that is paying the insurance. Insurance, now the one we talked about, which is a very small percentage that you pay with the installment. So So when you're paying, what happens is that as the principal is reducing, also the interest component reduces because interest is on reducing balance. So that is you throughout the loan ukilipa utakuwa unalipa hiyo principal na interest, lakini interest inaenda ikifanya nini, ikipungua, the interest amount goes reducing.
Then the second one is on this new Sacco amendment bill that is being pushed. What implication does it have to us now that they are trying to have a center Sacco? Do I expect an improvement in liquidity na stability ama ni dividends zitakuwa taxed more?
All right, very good. Yeah, na ni vizuri muulize swali because there's a lot going around, a lot of negative propaganda going around on social media about that bill. That the government wants to form a central Sacco, and all the deposits of Saccos will go there, and people are talking about like that Saccos no longer have control over those deposits, and therefore you might lose your money. You know, a lot of that kind of negative, which is not. If you read the bill properly, it does not even talk about anything like that. What the bill is there is to be able to put provisions for establishment of, and it actually provides for even multiple. They are called secondary Saccos, and those secondary Saccos are able to now provide what you call shared services to the primary Saccos. Okay, so those shared services could be the liquidity management. It could be things like payment infrastructure. It could be all those things that, like the way, basically what is so that now you can have something like a central bank. Naona vile central bank iko for the banks. Exactly, just being able to establish such a structure for Saccos, because Saccos sahi hatuna, we don't have that kind of like a central bank for Saccos. So banks have gone a bit ahead in terms of being able to even interconnect and to be able to have payment systems because of central bank. So now with Saccos, with that bill, we'll be able to have like what they're calling Sacco Central, which will be anchored on that particular bill, and it will be able to provide services like central bank is providing to the banks. Basically, that is how it's. So it will strengthen the Sacco movement. It will be able to ensure that kuna hiyo wanaita pia deposit protection cover, which will also make sure that for every member of as long as you have savings in a Sacco, there is a portion of those savings that are protected. In case that Sacco ikianguka, at least you will not lose everything. There is what is guaranteed, and then now the rest of the savings can also be. They will still can be recovered from managing the process of receivership and all that. So, but of course now when you also the other thing is that if you put your money in a Sacco that is very strong, that is very stable, you don't have to worry about those. But there are so many other Saccos that out there, they are not being managed properly, and so you need to make sure that you know that is a reliable Sacco, that is a Sacco that is trusted, and they are able to keep your money well, and you can see the returns, and you don't have to worry about those issues. All right, thank you very much. I know time is gone.
So there is Renox. I want to give two more, especially those who have not had a chance to ask a question. Yes, 2-1. So Renox, you? Okay. Let me give to your friend. That's okay. Yeah. So those three, then we close so that because of time. Sindio? Sawa.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Joel, for the insightful talk.
Sorry.
I am.
Oh, yes. I wasn't saying.
So my question is on the credibility of the Saccos. Over the years, we have seen a lot of Saccos that fall down because of mismanagement. And my question is there like a watchdog or an overseer of the Saccos that people can go to see maybe how their funds are being utilized? And also, what are the telltale signs of maybe a Sacco that is not doing well? and therefore maybe me as a member, I should maybe pull out
Okay.
so that I will not suffer any losses. And in the case that a Sacco maybe falls down and I had maybe borrowed a loan, bado atakuja kunifuata na wameanguka na pesa za watu nilipe. Yeah.
All right, very good, very good. So there's a regulator for SACCOs, inaitwa SASRA, the Sacco Society Regulatory Authority. So SASRA is the one that regulates the SACCOs. And not all SACCOs are under regulation or are being regulated. So it's good to know. That's the first thing to check. Is that Sacco regulated by SASRA? So SASRA regulates all deposit-taking SACCOs. So deposit-taking SACCOs ni zile ziko na FOSA services, the transactional accounts, pamoja na savings. And then there are those ones that are non-deposit-taking or non-withdrawable deposit-taking. So that those sasa current kitambo hazikuwa zinakuwa regulated, but now any non-withdrawable deposit-taking Sacco ambayo iko na 100,000 and above in terms of deposits, they are being regulated by SASRA. That one started maybe 3-4 years ago, and so what you need to be careful is that Sacco regulated by SASRA, number one. If it is not regulated, you have to check, because kuna wale ambao labda they are just beginning, but they are beginning and their motives are not right. They are not established, so they are not yet. So maybe they're registered with the Ministry of Cooperatives, but they have not grown to the extent that now they are regulated. And the other thing about when it's regulated, kuna vile SASRA wanaangalia, vile tu Central Bank inaangalia how the banks are performing. There are certain things that the regulator checks. So if a Sacco is not complying with those regulations, then can be withdrawn. Their license can be withdrawn so that they cannot operate. So and even these regulations that are coming to strengthen that kind of oversight. So then I think you've said that the other thing, the telltale signs. Of course, the other thing is that you look at is if they look at maybe the certain management decisions that are made within those SACCOs. For example, for us, Kingdom Sacco, ulisikia mambo ya Cusco, si ndio? Mambo ya Cusco, and some SACCOs lost a lot of money from that because they put in money in Cusco, and that money, most of the SACCOs may not be able to get that money back. For us, we were able to actually see from very far that Cusco is likely not to. So we had initially put some money, some investments with Cusco, but we noted that their character, even the way they're asking for deposit for those investments, they give you commissions, wanatafuta board members, wapatie commissions, vitu kama hizo, just to get more money to come into the. So we realized that there is a lot of question marks, even in how they were managing. So as we moved our money from there, almost like 3-4 years ago, by the time it's coming to now to fall and all people are losing money, we did not lose any money, because you have to be able to make decisions, very wise decisions on how you're investing. Hii pesa sababu ni pesa ya members, so we have to put it in the right places. We have to make sure that it is in the places that are not, that the money will not haitapotea. But of course, now the other thing is that even if, most likely when the Sacco makes the wrong choices, they always, if they're regulated properly, they always have reserves that are able to cushion the members. But then if they were not properly regulated, then what happens is that they will be under receivership. Then whoever is given to manage that, to return the money back to the members, they will try to see what assets they can sell, the monies that are available to be able to give back to the members. Of course, kama ulikuwa umechukua loan, you are at an advantage. Sababu sasa, instead of returning your deposits, you offset the loan. Of course, now if you had higher loans, definitely they will still continue to pursue, because hiyo ni pesa ulichukua, inafaa kurudishiwa hawa watu wengine, si ndio? So you still have to pay the money back, but at least you will not be at a loss kama ule mtu hajachukua mkopo, si ndio? Because ule hajachukua mkopo, they will have to wait until those who have taken loans to pay back, ndio waweze kurudishiwa pesa yao. But those things will only, those are worst case scenarios for SACCOs that are not well managed. So it's very important to check that. All right, there was another one.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Victor Kimathi, and you guided us through budgeting, where you gave us some aspects on how to budget 50% needs, savings, lifestyle, and giving. So what if you're also interested in investing? Can you save and invest in the same time? And maybe when it comes to investing, what are the aspects to look at when it comes to risks and returns and the best place to invest in? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, you can be able to balance between saving and investing. So you can put savings either in the Sacco. Of course, also money that you put in the Sacco is also like investment, because unapata nini? Interest. So there is interest. It will be gaining interest. So you maybe you will be looking at what interest will I get from the Sacco. Like in our case, we will give you at 8%. Like, well, maybe somebody else can look at, if I put it in the money market, maybe I'll get a 10%. If I buy some land, maybe within the next 10 years, I will probably get that. Maybe it will be 100%. So you look at all that, but then at the same time you also look at when you're investing. Pia kuna hizo shares. I think we talked about shares in the morning. You can also look at that, of course. But remember, your shares in the stock market, unless you have to have an expert who understands mambo ya stock market. Tusiingie tu kama hauelewi. Stock market, you can lose money, you can also make money, okay? So that is very important. Have an expert who understands that, who can guide you, and stuff like that. But also what you look at is liquidity. So if I put that money, am I able to get it back? So kwa mfano ukinunua mashamba mingi, because you're investing in property, so when I want that money back, can I sell it? How quick can I? So you need to balance your investments, where you can put some in assets. You can also put some in the stock market if you have a good person to advise you. You can put some, if also maybe even in the money markets. And then now the advantage of putting it in a Sacco, also look at now what are the other advantages. Because nikiweka kwa money market, I will not be able to borrow against that money, isn't it? And so whatever I've put there, if I want to do a project, that is the only amount I can go back and take and do my project. But now the beauty of putting it in a Sacco, now if I've saved, let's say, 500,000 over years, and I want to do a project, I can now be able to borrow against my savings and do a big project. That project may not have been 500,000, it could be 2 million. But that money has given me leverage to access that 2 million, and I still have the savings. So I get the 2 million, I do my project, I pay back the loan, and I've continued to grow my savings and even do other projects like that. So there is also the advantage you look at when you're putting your savings or your investments in the various different places. All right? The last one, there was the last question, yes?
Thank you very much. My name is Enoch Mutai. I belong to Imarisha Sacco, and I've been saving for some time there. So I don't know if it has any conflict of interest if I join a Kingdom.
Okay.
Kingdom Bank.
Sacco.
Kingdom Sacco, actually.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is also Kingdom Bank. So I was looking into like how many times should I maybe borrow against my savings, and then also the grace periods before I unlock the borrowing of that money. So I'm also looking up to the hidden charges, if there are some hidden charges maybe against the loan interest that should be against my loans. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, very good, very good. So there is no conflict of interest in joining multiple Saccos. The same way you can join, you can have multiple bank accounts. You can also have multiple Saccos. You can be multiple Saccos. It's freedom of choice, okay? So sometimes we say you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So you want to also diversify, and that is okay because you could borrow in Imarisha Sacco for this purpose. Then you also borrow from Kingdom Sacco for this other purpose. You may want to say maybe my business account, iko Kingdom Sacco, my personal account, iko Imarisha. So that it is, you just plan yourself, and that is okay. In terms of the how long for Kingdom Sacco, if you want to borrow, you just need to have been a member for 3 months. 3 months only. You have opened your account. You have put in your savings. Minimum savings is 1,000 shillings per month. But now also we have what we call share capital. So Saccos, for you, something that is different with Saccos is that you have to be a shareholder. Lazima ukue shareholder, okay? So, and that's the difference, the beauty of a Sacco and the difference of a Sacco and a bank. A bank, you are a customer. In a Sacco, you are a shareholder. Wewe ni member, sindio? So you have ownership. So you have, so that there's so for us, our share capital is 6,000 shillings. So but as long as you have been able to save the 6,000, inaenda kwa share capital. And then that is what you get, dividends. And then from there, now you build your savings, and now you can start borrowing 3 times, all the way to 5 times. And that is dependent on how long you have been a member. So vile umeendelea kuwa member, so we start you at 3 times, then you go to 4 times, then you go to 5 times, and even we have products for 10 times of your savings. So yeah, so that is, and then there are no hidden charges. Everything is always very plain. You will be given, your loan schedule is very clear. The interest rate is clear. If there is insurance component, the processing fee, all that is very clear. There are no hidden charges. The registration fees are also there, very clear. Our transactional fees are also very, very, very friendly, like, just like the way you have the normal kind of M-Pesa charges, just the very normal charges. Nothing is exorbitant at all. And then I think I just also want to mention something about our affordable housing. We give our affordable housing loans for up to 10 million to build your house at an interest rate of 9.5%. And that is an interest rate you might not find very easily. So 9.5% for 10 years, you pay that loan, you build your house, and you're able to can be able to take care of your family. So that is also a very big plus that we have at Kingdom Sacco. So I think I want to end it there. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for the interaction, for the questions and the answers. If we can still play the video for 4 minutes, it will be good, just to wrap it up. And thank you very much. Asante. Yeah.